5 tips for improving your photography. Let's go. Tip number 1, how to hold the camera. Sounds simple, but it's a little more to it than what you probably think of. In general, you have a tendency, if you have a screen on the back of your camera where you can look at it, you have a tendency of holding the camera like this and holding back and looking. What you're doing here is you're introducing shake to the camera. You don't really see it initially, but when you take the picture, you end up seeing the shake in the camera. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take one hand around the handle of the camera, like such, and the other hand, you're going to rest it on the ball of your hand where the index finger and your thumb is able to twist the focus ring to get the focus length that you need to take the picture. Now the next part, the way I take it, I'll take it to my eye, but I also have my elbows in close to my stomach. And that way I have 3 points of contact. You got 1, 2, and it's here at my eye on my face. So that's 3 points of contact, which allow a more stable shot. Now, if you wish to take the picture using the monitor on the back or the screen on the back, what I would suggest you do is you hold the camera the same way, elbows tucked in, close to your body. Well, let's wrap the strap around your wrist. Elbows close to the body. Now you're going to make sure you stiffen your wrist. So now you're going to make your wrist move mechanically, where you can see it pivoting or tilting. You have better control over it. And also you can use your whole body to turn as opposed to shifting your body weight this way. And you'll notice a whole lot smoother action in doing such. Okay, tip number 2, composition. Now with composition, we have rule of thirds, you have leading lines, you have symmetry, you have other ones, but we're going to just focus on those for the moment, okay? Leading lines, say for instance, you have a bridge with a rail, handrail on it. You can use that handrail to guide the person's the eye of the person that's looking at your picture to see what you want them to see or what you want them to focus on. Rules of third. Most cameras have parallel lines, 2 sets of parallel lines, 2 vertical and 2 horizontal, that you can use to put your subject on one of those lines so that, again, it'll help with the composition. So for a quick example, this tree behind me. I'm going to take a picture of this tree, how some people just may take it. Not you, some people, okay? Okay, let me show you the picture. Now I'm going to take the picture using the rule of thirds. Okay, so on that shot, you should see that it's a little more pleasing picture. Now, photography is an art. Everybody have different tastes in what's art. These are just starting points. So after you figure out what it is you like, you take it and you run with it. Now, also with composition, when you're taking pictures, don't think that you're just stuck where you're standing. You know, you can move around. So this same tree that's over here, I'm going to take a different shot from a different perspective, a different location. And we're going to see, let's see. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Yeah, okay. Okay, quick and dirty, but here you go. Tip number 3, pick one of the controls of your camera and play with it. We're talking about the ISO, the aperture, or your shutter speed. For instance, adjust your ISO from the lowest setting, which should be about ISO 100. If you have a, like a Sony or I think some Canons will take it to ISO 50. But start at 100 or 50, whichever one is the lowest, and go all the way up to the top. Just change that and watch the difference that it makes to your picture. That way you get more familiar to what the ISO is doing to your picture. Now, once you do the ISO, do the same thing for the shutter speed as well as the aperture. So with this exercise, let's try to make sure all the conditions are the same. So if you're taking a picture of somebody that's moving, let's try to take pictures of this person moving throughout the whole exercise. So unless it's a child, that may be hard to do. So we're going to try to keep it to something that's stagnant. Try not to turn on and off lights or adjust in the lights, the ambient lights, while you're doing this exercise, because again, that's going to throw you off. So again, you adjust the ISO, your shutter, your aperture. So when you adjust your aperture, you should notice that the light changes as well as the depth of field. So meaning a lower aperture, if you catch my nose will be in focus, or my eye if it's say f1.8. But if you move up to say f4.0, my whole face should be in focus. The higher you go, the more depth of field of, the more that you're gonna have in focus. Let me say it that way. With the shutter, you're gonna notice two things. The higher the shutter, the less light it's going to get in. So that can make your pictures appear to be darker, but you're going to freeze action. So a higher shutter speed will stop action, but allow less light to come in. A lower shutter speed will allow more light to come in, but if something or someone is moving, it could cause blur in your picture. But another fun one to do with the shutter is go to the kitchen or the restroom and run some water. Take a picture of the water running. Focus on, it doesn't matter. You can focus on the water or you can focus on the faucet itself. Adjust your shutter speed and you'll watch and you'll see that the water will actually freeze at a certain point. According to how hard the water is running, it may look like a solid blur, which again, artistic, and it's according to what you're looking for. But anyway, these are exercises for you. Tip number 4, look at different photographers' work. I follow several myself. Also, when I'm out at stores, when it's safe to go, or when I'm comfortable going to them, whatever, the advertisements. If you look on the walls or on their posters, it's usually a picture of a person advertising something. That picture was taken by, you got it, a photographer. Take a look and try to break down what it is that they were doing with the picture, the expression of the person, the lighting. You'll notice different things. Yes, some of it can be done in Photoshop, but if you look at their eyes, you'll see a catch light, the light that's in their eyes. How did that get there? Well, the photographer put it there. Or, let's be real, the editor put it there. But anyway, you'll see lighting on the face. That had to get there some type of way. A lot of this stuff, you can do it in camera before it even gets to your computer. Now, the 5th step, you may not want to hear it, but here it is. Practice, 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 practice. Let's put it another way. Experiment, experiment, experiment. No one knows it all. And if they tell you they do, well, they're telling you something wrong. Some of these things you can learn on your own. Some of these things you can learn from someone, but it's fun to experiment with the lighting. It's fun to experiment with your camera. Take your camera out. If you don't have your camera, use your cell phone. The way the cameras are on the phones now, you can get some awesome shots in the right condition. But then again, you're the artist, so you're gonna tell me whether you like that shot or not. Bottom line, it's according to what you like. Hey, got a bonus tip for you. Editing software, be it Photoshop, Lightroom, Capture One, there are many others, Pixel on your phone or whatever you have. Play with editing software. You can enhance the picture to further on bring out your vision. Okay? Again, I can't tell you if it's right or wrong. I can tell you if I like it, but what you like and what I like, they may be two different things. But anyway, get out, practice, 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 or experiment, experiment, experiment. Hey guys, have a good one. If you've got any good information from this, how about liking, subscribing, and clicking that notification so that the next time I upload a video, you'll be notified, okay? God bless. Take care.